the stages of the sales game. Prospecting, well, that's swiping, and that's the initial matches. What we want to measure, we always look for measurables. It's the match to message ratio. If you're getting a lot of matches and your messaging and your ratio is not very good about responding, that means you need to change your message. You need to work on that. So that's how we improve. We use those KPIs, those key performance index, measurements that we do them in business. So let's use them for ourselves too. We have discovery calls, texting, phones, message to schedule the first dates. What does your engagement look like? If you get somebody's number and you start texting them and they just ghost you, and that happens on a regular basis, then we need to look at the messaging. Again, look at the KPI. What is your close ratio on that? If the close ratio isn't very good, then we need to change our close, the way we close on the sale. So again, it's a great way to measure how we're doing. Product demo, first date, check the vibe. If the vibe is good, then you know things are good. If the vibe is off, don't force it. Tell them you had a great time and that it's just not going to work out. Look at your first to second date ratio. If you can't get a second date, I have so many clients who are like, oh, the first 2 dates go great, but it's the third and fourth date. All right, let's back that up. Let's process. What are you doing during those 2 dates that, are enjoyable? Or what are you doing after those 2 dates that people say, you're a fucking lunatic, or this dude's insane, or what's going on? Are you text bombing? Are you love bombing? Or does your communication look a little bit different? So again, looking at those KPIs and those measurements to see where we can better ourselves is fantastic. And again, the proposal and trial, when we look through the sales stages, exclusive dating. That's when you tell the other person that, hey, I want to be exclusive. I only want to date you. But you don't do it in the first week. You don't do it after the first date. You don't do it in the first month. You do it when the two of you are ready to have the conversation. And again, you need to bring that conversation up and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I understand if you feel differently, but this is what I would like to do. So when you get to that point and you have those conversations, look at your retention and your alignment. Again, when we talk about it from a business standpoint, what is our retention rate? What is our churn rate? What are we doing to hold on to these people? What are we churning? If we talk to somebody in the first month and say we want to be in a serious relationship, and after the third month, we've already churned them out and we're back to the entire start of this process again, let's take a look back and see what happened between those first and third months. Were we so engaged and so happy and everything was great, and then it started to fade because we're past the honeymoon stage and things got real and shit got real, and we started having real conversations like adults? Did that scare you? Then let's talk about that and why it bothered you so that we can get you prepared for the next relationship. But guys, girls, individuals, dating is just like business. Dating is a job. We need to treat dating like a job, because as high achieving individuals, we're hyper focused on the business world. So why not take that mindset and that frame and put it into the dating? Now, emotion absolutely needs to go into dating. But how many times have you closed a deal that you were emotional about in the business world? Everybody says business isn't personal. Fuck, it isn't. I'm going to tell you right now, with the way things are changing in advertising, everything is AI generated, and consumers are not going to know what's real and what's not real. So what do we need to go back to? We need to go back to that humanistic touch, that the reality. That's the same thing in dating. We're going to do that. We want to create that human bond. We want to create that connectiveness. We want to create that, whatever it is that you guys have with that other individual, so that you can say, hey, this is working. But yeah, break down the sales stages. Look at yourself.